Yeah, they're going well. Very busy.
Yeah.
Very busy. Yes, sir.
Got a lot of things going on. I know.
Mhm.
Busy time of the year.
Yes.
But if you can make it to Thanksgiving, it'll slow down.
Yes. I understand that.
Yeah, that's the way the school business always is. It's the way it always
Yeah,
is.
that's true.
All right, let's see. I think we're recording. I'm gonna go ahead and get started.
Okay.
I told people I want to try to be through by 8. I know people have other things they have to do tonight. Just a reminder for everybody that we're doing Zoom peer reviews. We're in that mode right now. Be sure to send me. You can post them on discussion board. Your links. Send them to me. We'll look at those next week. We don't have time. I've got some other more important things to do tonight. So let's look at our weekly schedule. New share. Let's see. Show all windows. I've got a lot of things open tonight to do with. All right, our weekly schedule. This is week 7. We had our fall break last week. Got some YouTubes for you to watch this week and take the VARC inventory. It's a learning styles inventory. A lot of you have already taken it and posted it on discussion board, so that's great. Seems like everybody's keeping up really well. Remember, it's your option when you do the weekly activities. You just got to get them done before the end of the school year. But try to keep up with your evidence artifacts. You get behind on that, y'all are in 604. If you get behind, it's impossible to catch up. This week, you need to upload your APTEL final in discussion board for peer review. I know some of you are in areas that got hit hard by flooding. I went to the coast this weekend, and it took me 6.5 hours to get there on Friday and about 6 to get back on Monday. So I know it's tough still. People without power, especially in the Lumber River Valley. So don't, for my part, don't get bent out of shape. If you can get it done in the next week or so, that's fine. Those of you who are listening, but try to keep on schedule as best you can. But don't worry, we'll make accommodations for that. Now, if you have not already started putting your APTEL together, remember that you can go on Blackboard to TaskStream Tools, and you can download a template that I have created for you to put those individual components in. If you've already got them put together, that's fine, but remember, you can go in and pull out a template, and let me quickly show you what that template looks like. The one for the APTEL, I'll share the screen. It's just a template that I created. You put your name on it, and it has all the components. You take out the red. These are just reminders of the things that we're looking for. You take out the red and put your work in. This is kind of a help to put those final ones in. It shows you the style that we're looking for. It shows you how to do your references in the final paper. It should loosely follow APA. So if yours looks kind of like this, then you're fine. You don't need to use this. But if you want to use these templates, they're all, again, under Evidence Artifact Templates, which is found under TaskStream Tools if you want to use these. And so let me close that one. Let me close the weekly schedule. Let me go back to share screen. Remember, when you submit, you're not ready, you're putting them in right now for peer review, but when you get ready to put them in TaskStream, please remember that when you put a final evidence in TaskStream, there's a button over on the right-hand side of the screen that says Complete Form, where you have to go in and do a summary and write out your descriptors. If you don't remember how to write those, I have a document for you again under TaskStream Tools, and it's called Writing TaskStream Summaries. I'll share that screen, and it has a series of questions for each of the 6 evidences that you simply answer, and when you do that, you have written your summary, and there's the 7 questions that should be the body of your summary. And if you don't remember how to write a descriptor, it's 5 sentences, and here are what the 5 sentences should be. And if you're confused as to what they're asking you, especially in a descriptor, I have another document. I'll close this one and go back to share screen, new share. That's called Accomplished Summaries and Descriptors, that shows you what the summary should look like and what it should contain and what the descriptors should look like for all 6 of the evidence artifacts. Again, those can be found under Task Stream Tools. There's a folder there for the, I have a template for each of the 6 evidences to put the finals together. I also have this document, an example of what accomplished level summary and descriptors look like, and I have an example, I have the document on how to write summary and descriptors. So please remember, for each of the 6 evidence artifacts, that final box in Task Stream, that's where you put the finished product that has all the components of that particular evidence artifact in it. You put your final evidence narrative there when it's gone through the peer review process and it's passed through that, and then you write your summary and descriptors when you get there. So please remember that final one is the most important one. It's the one that's going to be graded for graduation and licensure. So don't do a quick and dirty job on it. Make sure that final paper looks good. All right, I'll get out of that one. Go back to share screen. All right. I want to go to Task Stream. I want to talk again about how to put your competencies in Task Stream. Please remember that in lieu of having a final conference with your principal where we would sit down as a content coach, or I think it's now called clinical coach or internship supervisor, sitting down with your principal to go over the 21 competencies. And you remember what the 21 competencies are. Let me go to that one for you. This is what your principal is going to sign off in the end, that you've hit all 21 of these competencies. That's their role. Your clinical coach will do that, and your internship supervisor at your school, what we call your site supervisor, both of them have to jointly do a certification of competency in Task Stream on you. They do it independently, it's the same thing, but we always had a meeting at the end where we would go over these 21 things to make sure that you had hit them all. Sometimes that conference was short, sometimes it was long. But instead of having to do that conference now, we're having you put your competencies into Task Stream. So let's go back and look at that. Let me get out of that and go back to resume share screen, go back to my desktop, share. Okay, here we are in Task Stream. So when you log into Task Stream, here's where you put your competencies. All right. So if you have not set up your competency folder, you don't have to set up your disposition folder. Your dispositions, you're doing university dispositions yourself, and your site supervisor's doing dispositions, and your clinical coach or internship supervisor is, all those people are doing your dispositions. So all you have to set up is your competency folio. And so the way to do that, and I sent you this email with screen grabs, but I'll go through it again. Go to, as soon as you sign in, before you actually click on your DRF box, go to messages, click on messages, and you can see revised competency template, and you click on it. Scroll down to the bottom and click on competencies again. And then it will give you this screen, and up in the right-hand corner, you hit copy. Let me see. And then once you copy that, let me see if I can move this out of the way. There we go. You hit copy, and then proceed with copying, and you can, at that time, you can go to your folios and web pages, and you're going to have a red box, and there it is. I've got two, but that's okay. You got your competency folio. So now, once you sign in now, and you're on your opening screen page, you can just click on folios and web pages, and there your competency page will be. And that's where you go in to put the proof that you have satisfied those competencies. And so if you click on it, you'll see on the left-hand side of the screen, you've got all 21 competencies right here that you have to satisfy. You want to put an artifact in there, not an evidence artifact, but an artifact that's been generated from the work that you've done, like a picture or an agenda or a minutes or something like that. Now you say, but Dale, we need better direction on what to put in those folios. Well, I have done that for you. I have 2 documents. You will find them on intern materials folder. Go to the main page of Blackboard, our intern materials folder. I have put the following documents. All right. So for the first one, communication, it says that you have to put, you don't have to put but 3, but 1. You don't have to put all 3. The new people have to put 3. You have to put 1. So you can choose in something from evidence artifact 1, evidence artifact 6, or 1 open-ended from your 400 hours of internship that would satisfy this communication requirement. So you put something in there like minutes from your PLC meeting or agenda that shows you communicated with others, and you write a sentence or 2 just explaining that. And so what I have for you, let me go to new share here, is if you want an open-ended one, I have made a document that is correlated with the activities that you're supposed to be doing. Remember that suggested list of activities as an intern? So addressing a small or large group of adults, if you've got something from that, like a picture or a video or an agenda from a group meeting that you did, that's an example of communication. You just drop that in, right? I ran this meeting, and here's the agenda that I used. It's just that simple. And for each of the activities that you did as an intern, I have categorized that for you where you can put that in as an open-ended proof or evidence that you have satisfied that competency. So I've done that for you. So here's the list of things that would count as open-ended proofs. All right. You say, all right, Dale, what if I want to do one from an evidence artifact? I have a document that I've created for you. And tells you where each of them has to come from. When you open them up in TaskStream, it tells you, but here's the list of them. I have that list of them for you too. That'll help you know what you can use. Okay, so here, for every component that you did of every one of the 6 evidence artifacts, I have put down what artifacts would be generated from doing that and what competency that would fit under. So for 1A, when you formed your PLC, you had to get email permission from your principal. You had to do an agenda, minutes, and pictures of your meeting. Those would fit under competencies 1, 3, 6, 12, and 20. And if you don't know what those are, competency 1 is communication, 3 is conflict management, 6 is delegation, 20 is time management. So I have categorized every artifact that you will have generated from doing all the components of all the evidences and told you which one of these competencies you could put them under. So here's an example of what we'd be looking for in terms of a proof. And so here they are. I have made these for you. The university has adopted these. These will be coming out to everybody probably next week sometime. You're just getting them early because I got them finished over the weekend.
Thank you.
No, you're welcome.
Very helpful.
So it should be fairly easy now to go back. Let me go back to share screen and go back to the desktop. It should be fairly easy. Let me close these 2 and get back to my desktop here. So it should be fairly easy. Change management. When you put something in there, you upload it just like anything else. It should come from either our evidence artifact 1, which is the app cell, 2, the app tail, or from your list of activities you did as an intern. And you say, well, what have I got that's handy? You go look at those 2 lists of artifacts from your evidence artifacts from the app cell and the app tail, and you look at your open-ended activities and find something that matches change management. Oh, I've got that right here on disk. You just pop it right in there. and you write a sentence or two explaining it, and it's just that quick. So let me show you what I've been working with one of my interns, and he's already, let me show you his as an example of what he's done. So if we go to, and move the picture back out of the way again. So if we go to fall 15, let's see. Okay, let me get out of that. Go back here. There we go. Hey, Bruce.
Hello there, guys.
How are you?
I'm on here, brother. How you doing?
I'm excited to be here as always. It's okay. Let me see.
You guys already started?
Yep, I've been covering how to put your evidence, put your proofs in competency. And so what I'm looking for, I'm going to show you an example of what one of my students has done so far. If I can figure out how to get there. All right. I may have to log out and log back in. I can't get to my comment status. That's okay. I'll figure out how to get there. Give me just a minute. Thought I could. Something has happened to my reviewer status. For some reason my reviewer status is not showing up tonight, so I can go in and show you what I did with, let's see. Okay. Okay. There we go. I don't know why my comments have gone away tonight. But they're not there. Anyway, when you go to your folios and web pages again, you click here. And again, for each one of these, you find a proof that you did this communication. Again, let me go over those two documents again. I have laid out for you, and these can be found under intern materials. I have laid out two documents for you. One open-ended, where for all the activities that you did in your 400 hours, these are the things that would count as open-ended proof. And you look at one communication right there, addressing large groups. Another example of communication, let's see if I have another one, would be when you attended a PTA, PTO, or PSA meeting or open house. That would be an example. So that's where the open-ended would come from. Remember, you get the choice of two evidence artifacts or one open-ended to satisfy, and you only have to do one. And then if you want to pull a proof from an evidence artifact, I have made that for you too. That document is there. And like for communication, which is one, and a PLC agenda or minutes, just upload it and write a couple sentences, and that should do your competency folio. That should do it for you. I can't show you a completed one, but it was just, Drew just put like an agenda for communication and said, this is the PLC meeting I ran on March 3rd. And it was just that quick and simple. It's just got to be a thing. Yeah. And this will save us from having to have a large conference at the end, and we'll know that you've hit your 21 competencies before that last meeting. Again, your principal will still sign off on your competency on those 21, and your content or clinical coach, internship supervisor, whichever those three terms you want to use, that one person from the college will also do a competency, and you'll be good to go. So that's how you put those in. Again, to set up that page when you first sign in to TaskStream, I'll review that again. When you first sign to TaskStream, before you click on the DRF that says Fall 15, you go to Messages, click on Competency, scroll down Competencies again, copy, proceed with copying, and then when you do that, if you go to your folios and web page, there your competencies will be. You click on them, and that's where you upload them. It's just that simple. And then I have a list of what you put in each one of those for you. So that should be good. Now, down at the bottom, there's a professional dispositions. Your clinical coach may or may not require you to do that. I'm not requiring my clinicals to do that because, as I said, you've got 3 sets of dispositions already. You're having to do self-dispositions, your content coach or your clinical coach is doing a set, and your principal's doing a set. So I'm not having mine do any more dispositions. This is for the new people. And these digital learning competencies, again, I'm not having my interns do that. Just be sure to ask your clinical coach if they're going to, because you've already, as I said, you've already done these competencies. You've already done those things. These are for the new people. So for you, you just got to do the 21 from communication down through visionary. Put us a proof in there. Got to be, it's simple. If it takes you more than 10 minutes, you're doing it wrong.
Okay.
If it takes you more than 5 minutes, you're doing it wrong, because it's just a sentence or two explaining, giving a brief description of what you've uploaded there. Again, I hate that we can't see the ones that I had set up to show you tonight, but for some reason they were working in my TaskStream account today, and I see that I don't have the ability to get into my comment section tonight. I'll have them restore that tomorrow. I was on the road today.
This guy right here, Dr. Lamb, he's the one that, he's go, buddy, go.
All right. And so as you can see, these people there looks a little bit different than yours. They've got to do dispositions every semester. They've got to do competency analysis. You don't have to do any of that stuff. So if somebody asks you about that, that's for the new people. All right. Questions you have for me? Joy, is it simple as I make it sound? Does it seem that simple, or does it sound difficult?
It sounds very doable. Do our site supervisors, are they still doing our dispositions?
Yes. Yes. And that's why I said I'm not requiring you to do any of that disposition stuff that's down at the bottom of that, or even to upload that disposition screen. You can upload this. The new people have to go to messages and upload a whole separate screen for dispositions, because theirs aren't done. That they don't have it set up in TaskStream for everybody to do them like you do. So that's why I said we're not requiring you folks to even download that disposition screen. Your site supervisor will continue to go in and do dispositions next semester like the first 2 times they did. You will continue to go in and do university dispositions a 3rd time just like you did. And your clinical coach will go in and do the 3rd disposition just like they did the first 2 times. So that stays the same for you. The only thing that's different is we have a competency folio for you to fill out, to put your stuff in, rather than to bring it to that final meeting with your principal. That's the only thing. It just makes it a lot. I tell you, I've already been through it. I can see now it's going to be a lot less stressful on the student at that last meeting because your competency is already in there and signed off on, rather than having to sit there for anywhere from 15 minutes to 8 hours arguing the case that you hit all and bringing all that proof that you hit all those evidence, those competencies. It's already in there. It's already checked off. It's already done.
My last 2 dispositions, my principal did not do. He said that he thought that they would email him something. So I don't know.
If your principal does he have the username and password for TaskStream?
I don't know.
He has to email Dr. Shellman, and Dr. Shellman will send that to him, and you just show him and remind him how to do it. Okay. Your internship supervisor or your clinical coach should send out reminder emails, but if they don't, you can do that. But he has to email Dr. Shellman. It's dshellman, DSHELLMAN. It's all one word, gardner-web.edu, to get their username and password, because that's a privacy issue. When they get that, let me look and see. Let me go back to. You go back to intern materials here, if it'll open up. You can do it. Okay. There's a site supervisor packet that I have for you that I created under internship, under intern materials, and it has the directions for your site supervisor to go in and do your dispositions. As soon as they have their username and password, you can open this one up. Let me see if
right, I saw that. Yeah, okay.
Yep, and you can open that up and you can print that packet out for them and give it to them. Makes it really easy. I think, let's see if this is the one that I did that took all the crazy steps out and just made it really simple. They had a big old handbook and nobody could follow it, me included, so I just made my own. I just have to make my own stuff that I understand sometimes, because sometimes it's over my head. All right, so here we go. So this one, and it has that, and it has it has all your activities, it has your log, and it has the login direct. Yeah, I made this one. They just go in and click on that, and it's just really simple. I mean, it's just that quick. Shows them how to go in and do it. It's really easy. And if they have a problem, You can always call me, or I can come by and work with your person. Don't mind doing that at all. That's why I was in Durham today. I worked with a site supervisor there today.
Okay, thank
Don't
you.
mind that at all. I can come by no matter where you are. I'll be by there soon. So if you need somebody to come by and work with your principal on the technology, just all I need is for them to have their username and password when I get there. And,
Okay.
I can call the task string people from there if we have a problem.
Okay, thank you.
I can do that. That offer's open for everybody, anybody. I'm on the road 2 or 3 days a week, and I'm passing by. I'm coming to a town near you, so
Thank you.
and I enjoy getting out and meeting people. So it won't be an imposition on me at all. All right. Next week I will hopefully have some videos for us to watch on peer reviews. I've got a couple in, and they look really good. I'm very pleased with the work that you're doing. I'll probably try to cover this again briefly next week. Hopefully you'll get in there. If you haven't set up your competencies folder, go ahead to messages and follow what I did and set yours up, and go back and look at those 2 documents again that I have for you. And again, these will be found under intern materials on the main page, and they are those documents about what is acceptable proof of a competency. And I have it again from all the artifacts that you produced from the work that you did on your evidence artifacts. That's why they're called evidence artifacts. The written part is the evidence. The things that are generated, like agendas, pictures, minutes, those are artifacts. And what they are, those are the acceptable things. When it says we'll accept one from evidence artifact 1, the app cell, look at that list and it tells you, oh, this is what they'll accept as an example of communication right here. Or look at your open-ended list. And the good thing for you, again, for you people, you only have to put 1. I'm going to make sure my finger gets recorded. You only have to do 1. You don't have to do the 3. It says 3, but you only have to do 1. And so you get to pick between either the evidence artifacts or open-ended. And so you've got stuff laying around. Drew did his. I worked with Drew. Drew's smart. Drew's sharp young man. But we did Drew's in, I would say, less than 3 hours. Got all 21 of his in there. That's why I say if it takes you more than 10 minutes, 10 minutes would be 210 minutes. And what's that? That's a little just short of 3 hours. That's what he did his in. I told him, I want you to do it in 10 minutes and see what we get. It's perfect. It was perfect. And so in 3 hours, he had that thing knocked out. It was ready to go.
Yeah, that's good.
Awesome.
So next semester, Dr. Lamb, what will we be working on mostly next semester? If we already have our artifacts, our competencies, all that kind of stuff
If you've got that, you'll just have to do your schoolwork. Go ahead and knock out 5E and 6F, because that's the only 2 components that are left for next semester.
All right, I looked at those.
Putting them all together. Putting all your final evidences in, doing your summaries and descriptors. If you've already done that along the way. Now, the content for 605, you have 3 books. You have the Hershey and Blanchard book. You have the Glickman book on supervision. And then you have the Strength Finder book. And it's a lot like the BARC inventory, but it's about finding your strengths.
Right.
What I do with mine is when students first open up that discussion board and they see all the number of discussions I have in 605, they about want to shoot me. But what I do with mine is I offer you 3 different questions. Again, you're supposed to be leaders, and I offer you a choice each week of the discussion boards. I don't just outline them for you. And each of those goes with one of those 3 books or something else, and you get to kind of pick what you want to do. Your area of interest for your discussion boards. Now, obviously, I've outlined them, but they're kind of in 3 categories of interest, and students tend to like that. In 605, by that time, you kind of figured out what you're good at or what you like to do or what you want to pursue, and so I could probably show you that. What I do with mine. Now, you may not have me. You may get lucky and get somebody else, and that'd be good.
We want you, Dr. Lamb.
Let's see if I've got, let's see if I can still access that. Yes, I can. I believe I can. Oh, here we go. And so here's my shell for 605. And so, as I said, if it'll open up here. Let me go to my assignment Dropbox. No, I won't go to discussion board. So my weekly assignment and discussion boards, what I do, if it'll pop up here. If you can see that screen, I have a gaggle, but I let you choose. I have a lot of different things. But again, you don't have to do all 23 of these. You get to pick.
Yeah.
So each week, so if we go to the weekly schedule, let me open that up. So, and most everybody has some form of where they let you be more self-directed in 605. It's about leadership and the leadership theories. And so I hope this will share so you can see it. Okay, and then we'll editing. Here we go. So as you can see, for the first week, I've got a discussion board from the Hershey book. I've got one from the Glickman book, and I've got another one from her. So each week, I let you kind of pick what you like. You know, if you want to do leadership versus management, or if you just like supervision, or if you want to do motivation and behavior, you only pick one of those. Whichever, you know, I tried to hit some topics that to try to find your personality, your leadership style, what you like, and so instead of me forcing you, oh, I want you to do this, I'll let you kind of pick, and every week you get to pick what you'd like to do. You just have to pick one of the three.
Okay.
And so
sounds good.
And there's some good topics in there. And it's things that you need to know. Now, I've had some students that do all of them. They said, well, you know, I want to learn it all. Well, that's up to you. But I give you a wider variety. I let you self-direct more than me designing your weekly activities every week. I let you self-direct more and take more of a leadership role in your own learning when we get to 605. That's just the way I do it. Most everybody tries to do it that way, and we let you be more self-directed in 605. But it's all about leadership, you know, learning leadership styles, learning motivational styles. I have you interview an AP, you know, self-awareness, supervision, effective communication, all these, you know, managing performance, leading effective teams, change process, strengths-based leadership. You know, that book where you find your own, you know, what leadership styles that you're most comfortable with. It works pretty good. And what I do is I work with you extensively on interviewing the 4 different types. I'm going to do that with y'all this semester, though, because I may not have you next semester. But we spend a lot more time on it in 605 because I want you to learn not only how to pass an interview, get through an interview as a candidate, but it also teaches you how to interview once you become a principal. And that's very important. And so I spend a lot of time on interviewing. Because you need to get a job, number one, but number two, when you get the job, you need to understand how to interview and what you're looking for. And so I spend a good bit of time on that in 605. You know, a long time ago, I know my beard, I'm growing out my Santa Claus beard. I'm Santa Claus. I will also coin flip, so I got to be Santa Claus in church in December. So I'm growing out my Santa Claus beard. But a long time ago, I was a baseball coach, and I would coach football in the fall and baseball in the spring, like everybody. Bruce knows how that is. And I went to a clinic. Sparky Anderson was the manager of the Cincinnati Reds during the 70s, the Big Red Machine, and I went to a baseball clinic. I took my team. You know, we were expecting all these great pearls of wisdom from Sparky Anderson, and Sparky said, boys, it's all about the players. He said, if we go down to the local playground, you pick the best 9 players, and I get the next 9, and you'll beat me every time. Doesn't matter how many world championships I've won. It's about the players. It's about getting the best players. Well, folks, school business is about getting the best players. It's about getting the best teachers. There's nothing more important that you do than interviewing and getting good people. You can't do it yourself. It's just that simple. I want you to learn in 605 how to motivate and manage the people that you have and lead them. But more importantly, maybe, is I want you to pick the right people. You know, it's about, you know, willing and able, as I call it. You got to find people who are willing, and then your job is, once you hire those good, willing people, is to make them able in their job. It's all about willing and able. If you don't have good people, if you don't pick good people, you're in trouble. You won't make it as a principal. If you pick bad people, if you inherit bad people and you can work to make them better people, and if you don't, you can work to get them another career maybe or somebody somewhere else. But you won't be hung by the people you inherit. The people that you hire will hang you if they aren't any good. That's the way the business works. We will hold you accountable in the central office for the people that you hire. And if you hire bad people and they can't make their scores and they're Monday, Friday, they got Monday, Friday flu, they don't show up regularly, or some of the other afflictions that folks have nowadays that you hire, you're in trouble. You got to get good people. That's, I think probably central office people evaluate you the hardest on the people that you pick and what you do able to do with those people. We really want you to lead and motivate the other people that you inherit, but who you hire is all on you, and that tells us a lot about your judgment and your ability. So, it's like Sparky said, it's all about the players, folks. And no truer words were ever spoken about about the school business nowadays. Hiring is just ultimately important. So I hit that really hard in 605. So I'm going to go over interviewing with y'all a little bit later in this semester.
That's great.
That's kind of the way 605 works. You can kind of see the books, Glickman, the supervision book, and Hershey, the leadership book, and then the leadership styles book, where you identify your style, is the Rath and Conchi book, strengths-based leadership, where you learn to find out what your strengths are and capitalize on those as a leader. It's good stuff. I enjoy 605. I've taught 605 exclusively for the last 4 years. I teach it every semester. Some semesters I teach 2 sections of it. I really enjoy doing that. All right. I spent 45 minutes. I went 15 minutes over. I talked too much. But y'all know, as always, if you have questions, you call me. You email me. If you need me to come by, I should finish up next week on my new interns, and I'm ready to roll. I'll squeeze you in next week, or I'll be the following week. I'm open to come and see you. And so if you need me to come by and work with your principal or work with you, I'm just a phone call away. All right. Any more questions for tonight?
Sounds good, Dr. Lamb. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you.
Joy, thanks for joining me tonight. I will see y'all next week. Y'all have a good week.
All right,
Well, thank you.